Terry Holland,
Here.
Becky Devaney.
Here.
At 6:06, we got a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Approval of minutes from the February 6th meeting. We have a motion.
I move that we approve them.
We have a motion by Ms. Van Hook. We have a second.
I'll say.
Second by Mr. Bass. Any discussion? All right, roll call drill.
Robert Miller,
Yes.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Davis,
Pass.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Holland,
Yes.
Becky Devaney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Delegations from citizens. I think this is the first time since I've been mayor that we have not had.
No way.
Yeah, the first. There's always been somebody at every meeting, so, well, it's first. Mayor, update real quick. Still holding strong, about 53% water loss rate, is that right?
Right, 54.
54, so
She comes down just a little bit.
we're not, we plateaued, right? We went from 78, we're down to 52, now we're at 54. I'd love to tell you we were at 30 or 44, but we're not. So with that being said, we did offer a utility position to a gentleman here in town, and he declined it. What was it, last week? He responded with another offer, which I did not feel comfortable bringing to council. So I will gladly share you what he countered with if you'd like. But again, me and Corey discussed it, and I just like, so we posted the position at TAUD. We have our first applicant that has applied.
Yeah, well, there's been a couple.
Okay, so,
Realistic candidates. I've got some copies here. We can talk about it a little bit later.
okay, so,
Mayor,
yes.
for him to ask that much, did he have everything we needed, or was he still lacking?
He would have needed, in my personal opinion, some more certifications
Yeah.
to,
Not like he fit the bill 100%.
no, it wasn't. It would have, and I understand why he countered with what he did, but it never hurt to ask, but I just, yeah, he didn't have, do I think he would have done well? Absolutely, 100%. I believe he'd have done very well here, but, you know, when you have a good thing to leave, you gotta be better, so. But all that being said, it is posted. We're hopefully working diligently in getting that done so we can continue to get our water loss down and, you know, show the people of the town that, you know, your water and sewer is our top priority. So all that being said, Corey, go ahead.
Your water plant, no violations for February 2025. Your state reports were signed today. They will be submitted tomorrow. Projects at the water plant, which one thing will be under later on the agenda, be ordering a mission RTU. So this will allow us to comply with the TDEC director's order from, I think it was January the 28th. What this does, it will allow us to log the turbidity, chlorine residual on the computer. We'll probably keep our charts just as redundancy. Basically, you'll be able to pull your historical records and everything off the computer by this. We've already got the cable, everything's already been pulled. The only thing we lack will be the mission RTU. And that should take care of your TDEC. Your TDEC order, other than just some administrative paperwork that I've got to clean up and send to them. Other thing at the water plant, we had a 2-inch backflow preventer that started leaking earlier this week. That repair will be somewhere between $1,200 and $1,800. I know we've talked about the spring level in the past. It's back to normal now. We're pulling about 700 and 720 gallons a minute out of the water plant now. So everything's kind of back to normal. Upcoming items for the water plant. We've been working on the consumer confidence report, which that's your CCR. That should be ready within about 7 to 10 days. By late next week, we should have a CCR ready to be sent out. The other thing I had Rob working on, Rob's our water plant operator, one of our day shift operators. He's been going through and updating your emergency operations plan. So every year you've got to send an update to TDEC. That had been done up until this year. Rob's jumped in on that, went in and updated contacts, dates, any chemical changes that we've had. Your distribution system, water loss is right about 54%. Our sales is still off a little bit. We just sold 6.9 million gallons last month. Your new meters, currently got 2,206 active meters. Contractor showed up last week and the week before. All half-inch and three-quarter-inch residential meters have been installed. So we still have about 19 meters, which are 1-inch and 2-inch meters. That was not part of the contract. Part of the contract was our staff installing those. So we've still got about 19 of those left. Now, big thing is Anderson County, Rowan County schools are on spring break next week. So we're gonna go in and change out all the schools, school meters next week. Most of those are the 2-inch. Your collector sites, we're still at 2 installed, one on top of Cove Road tank and then one on the tower above Richards tank. So currently you have about 730 meters that would be considered AMI. And I know Deborah's, just been ecstatic about those because she can pull up live data now.
Right.
And we've had customers come in, either on the Cove area or downtown is really where you're seeing these right now. But she's been able to pull up live data and show these people, hey, they've got a leak, and basically tell them what it is. I can either tell if it's a toilet or, like a service line leak. So stuff's working out phenomenal. We've still got 3 remaining locations. So the one location that we were dead set on was a tower that Oak Ridge owned on West Outer. I guess that'd be considered Louisiana Avenue.
Yeah.
Is it Louisiana? So the contractor shows up, call Oak Ridge, tell them, hey, contractor's here, we're on the way over there. And they said, well, we need to hold off. We've decided we want to have a tower inspection done on this tower. So basically, they had a tower inspection conducted on the tower. They're gonna recommend that they tear that tower down. So we're probably out on using one of Oak Ridge's towers. Conversation didn't go well after that. I'll leave it at that. But we're working on 3 other towers. We do know we've used the cell tower on Old Airman Highway. We've got a cell tower on Smith Road, cell tower on Marlowe Extension. And then there's another cell tower on Orchard Lane off of Outer Drive. And then there is a cell tower still up at Louisiana Avenue that we've got to reach out to that cell. I believe that's Jerry Creasy that owns that tower, and I've got his number. The other
Former county commissioner? Creasy?
Yeah, still is.
probably,
Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
tree work.
yeah.
Just so you know, I'll reach out.
No, me and him's on good terms. I like him.
Okay.
But on the other towers, we're waiting on the SBA towers, response from them. Your sewer plant, no violations in February. One of our operators, Edward Ziegler, will be taking his wastewater treatment 3 test in May of this year. Scott Roberson, the other operator over there, will probably be taking his in October. Be May and be November. Let's see, wastewater, your collections. Wednesday, March the 5th, I had the 2nd pre-construction conference on the sewer system rehab project. So this is the project that Vortex is the main contractor. They were the ones that told us that they would be starting December 1st, have it done by the end of the year. Well, they never showed up. And I tried to contact them, Jill Hillborn, our engineer, trying to contact them all of January. Come to find out, they fired the project manager and they didn't let anybody know. So Vortex has subcontracted with M&M Pipe Services. M&M is a contractor we've used in the past, they're very good, they're local. So they're gonna be handling all of this project, and that's why we had a 2nd pre-con yesterday. So work will be completed by M&M Pipe Service. Work to begin March the 17th. They're in here now, putting white paint out, just to get all the utilities, other utilities located. Part of that project will be lining 3 of the mainline pipes on Foster Avenue, Maple Lane, and Strut Street. They'll be lining 15 services also on Foster Avenue, Foxwood Circle, Edmonds Drive, and then there'll be 14 manhole repairs / rehabilitations. So that's where a lot of our I&I or infiltration's coming in. is this area, mainly around the Norwood area. So this should help a lot, once we get this project done. Your TDOT bridge replacement project on Highway 61 off of Alder Springs Highway. Currently, they've installed 6 service line bores. I think they've got 9 total, so like 3 more of those. Today, I met with Whaley Construction out there. They were working on boring a 6-inch water line tying in Old Backley Road going up the hill. So they've been, hopefully the utility work will be done within probably the next 2 or 3 weeks. But next week, they'll be doing the big bore across Brushy Creek. I guess that'd be weather permitting. Earlier this week on Monday, we hired our customer service representative in the water office. We hired Carrie Duncan. She's got some customer service background, a little bit of accounting background, and she's been phenomenal so far. And we kind of threw her right into the mix on her second day. We pulled meters for non-payment. So she handled it, wonderful.
Trial by fire.
Yeah. But like I said, she's been great so far, great fit with everybody here. Your utility director, again, we kind of what the mayor said. The candidate that we've been meeting with, we just weren't able to work out on the wages. I sent him, the cost and the benefits here. Him and his wife, family sat down, kind of crunching the numbers, and it was hard for them to leave a good situation where he's at right now. And what he said that it would take for him to come, he knew that we couldn't afford that, and we couldn't pay that right now. So as of right now, he would be out. With that said, we posted the utility director position on the TAUD website, and I've got about 3 responses so far. This would kind of be the closer one right here, kind of meets what we need. It's a guy out of Kentucky. He's currently your assistant city manager in Paris, Kentucky. So we've been contacting or talking with, through emails. Tomorrow I'm gonna make the call to him just to kind of feel him out, pick his brain on some stuff. And that's all I have at the moment. Well, let's go through the financials real quick. So the water sewer department financials should be right. Now your February numbers, so when I printed out my revenue expenditure pages, that was on the last day of February. So not everything has been, inputted into those reports yet. But this will kind of give you a ballpark idea of kind of where you're at through February of 25. Again, your sales are still a little bit off. You're probably averaging about 7.3 million. We should be averaging about 8.1. Now, December, January, February, that will be some of your lower months just based off the weather. You do have 3-4 months coming up right now. Should be some of your higher demand periods. Kind of a lot, you don't see a lot of the yellow highlighted or the red print on here, so we've really been looking at and working on updating the coding system in the water department. I think it's on page 4. February will always be a higher expense month because that's when your liability insurance comes in. Your insurance on building your liability. So there was a $76,212 payment and then a $13,817 liability insurance payment. So $90,029. So the last page, I went in and put in your depreciation cost. I usually leave those out. So with your depreciation figured into this, Your net change of position right now is $177,250.51 revenues over expenses. And that is figured in your depreciation as well. So I feel very comfortable about where you're at. And you're trending, if you want to look at your green line far right, you're trending toward 265, almost 266,000. To the good. Anybody have any questions right off? About any financial? If not, at the moment, like I said, write them up. You're always more than welcome to call me or come see me. And we'll go through whatever you need there. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Corey. Mr. Miller?
I have nothing at this time.
Sir. Mr. Bass?
Nothing at this time, sir.
Thanks, sir. Ms. Bailey?
Nothing at this time.
Ms. Spanley?
The only thing I've got really is, have we figured out yet the exact best way for customers to pay their bills besides writing a check and mailing it?
So yes, we've started using, well, we've not yet, but we're fixing to set back up the Citizens Portal. We've had that set up before, and the problem using Citizens Portal when people pay with a credit card, there's about a 7 to 10 day lag before that money hits our account. So that was the whole reason we quit using that before. But with Citizens Portal, customers can pay their bills online, and we got the ability to start emailing people their bills through Citizens Portal as well. You also have the ability to set up ACH payment. So actually, can't remember his name, Ed with local government was here today, kind of going through some updates of all of our local government. So probably within the next 7 to 10 days, you're gonna have all this set up. Also, the new Citizens Portal credit card machine, where right now it's a $4.95 charge. I think that drops it back down to a straight 2%. So the people have minimum water bills that, pay water only would be somewhere around $28, $30. They just get hit with a 2% fee instead of a $4.95 versus somebody paying a $200 water bill, paying that $4.95. It's not that much of not that big of a hit for them, but somebody paying a minimum bill, the $4.95 would be huge to them. So that'll be set back to like a 2.5%, I'm not sure just yet. But you're probably about 7 to 10 days out.
Are we gonna put that on Town of Water Springs website? How are we gonna publicize
So
that we're gonna do this?
you'll have to do, a little social media campaign for that. I know Chief could put it on every website we've got. You're still very limited about the notes you can put on those postcard water bills. So this may even be with a couple other items we've got. Let's send out another letter with all this information, the links and everything on it.
Just want to make it as convenient as possible. Yeah, and
Well,
if we need a letter, we can, not for just one thing, I hope, but if we've got other things we need to convey to the customers.
So another thing by setting up the ACH stuff, you want to try to limit the amount of customer traffic, people paying with cash coming into the office. So hopefully this is one thing right here that, and we've had a lot of people that have asked about this. So yeah, hopefully we'll have that up and running here next week or so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. Mr. Holland?
How does that work on the current? I played with the one that's on the back of the water bill, the pay for payment. How does that work? I only got so far before it asked you, you never noticed on the back of water bills?
That's right.
So you can pay online, and the thing about having the way that's set up right now, you have to have your account number and you have to know how much you pay.
Well, that's where I was going. I was fishing around, see if it showed anything.
And that's the problem with this. Now, with this, the news at Citizens Portal, you can log in and see what your current bill is. So that will be set up as well. And that's another thing a lot of customers have asked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be useful. I have had it. Bill must be late. I use Region, and it takes 12 days or more just for it to get from here to there.
Yeah.
So you can't mess around, you just about got to see it the second you get it.
Right, right.
And, also, when I was in there meeting the new girl, paying my bill, I heard at least one guy, I mean, odds of hearing one guy say, well, he was wanting to take his lock off. But he said, last time I had to come in here, I got to take my lock off. So it got me thinking, well, how many repeat people do we have?
So
That we don't start.
This would be any utility you go to. You'll have a overwhelmingly large percentage of people on the disconnect list. It'll be the same people every month.
But where I was heading with that, should we come up with a second offense higher penalty and a third offense even higher and a fourth? I mean, we need to make some money to pay for this guy being the dog, watchdog running, sitting here waiting to go out. He's barely getting paid for his time
Right.
running back and forth.
So some issues in the past that I've seen, is that possible? Yeah. And let's look at the legalities of all that too, but yeah, let's definitely look at that. I mean, that would help. Some problems I've had in the past is no matter what, an after-hour disconnect fee, I mean, I think previous place that came from, it was maybe $125. Same people on the pull list every month, and they wouldn't bat an eye about paying the after-hour reconnect fee. So a lot of these people's got the money, they just don't pay the bills. You pull the meter, they'll be the ones that calls the afternoon, want to get it reconnected, and, I mean, it's every month. Yeah. But, I mean, let's definitely investigate that a little bit more. Yeah.
Have any communication with Performance Services?
Yeah, I did. I spoke with him last week, and he's still not turned the paperwork in for us to pay the $45,000. $43,000. So, I mean, I'm still waiting on him to send me the email that, hey, here's the contract, here's the letter you need to send me. So, I mean, it's kind of, it's getting dragging on for just a little bit. But he did send me the updated invoice on the building. So we'll try to get that paid probably next week.
And the 19 meters we like, are we got a deadline to get that done, or?
So we don't have, the deadline for that project is probably still about 6-8 months away.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, that's a revenue, we need to get them in as quick as we can. And we do have the 1-inch and 2-inch meters in stock, and there is one 3-inch meter. But kind of what we've been waiting, we did install some of those over Christmas break. And it's kind of what you're waiting on as a school, where you can have their water shut off for, a couple hours.
Did we get to use the new camera on the, next to the Bailey store thing, or?
I don't think we used it up there. They have used the camera quite a bit. I think there was just a sinkhole started forming again up there, and just went in to dig it out, try to fix it like we done the other one.
And when I've seen them use it, it's not a physical camera you jam back through, or it's a fiber optic or something, so.
Yeah, it's a camera on a truck. I mean, it's got.
Right, so I mean, you're not gonna drop that down a manhole, right?
No.
You're
Well,
gonna-
I mean, you could lower it down. But it's got a little tool with it where you can lower it down, pick it right back up. But once it gets set down, which you got to change the wheels based off of the material, the pipe, what size it is. But I mean, that thing takes right off and goes.
Yeah, I just worry about, you dropped that one, and it's almost brand new.
Yeah, I heard about that one. Yeah, I heard about that one.
But, that's,
Thank you, Mr. Holland. Mr. Mayor.
Just a quick question. So, when we're set up, are we gonna
That's right,
email the bills and mail them out? Or is it gonna be a choice for each customer?
You'll do both.
Okay.
And then for the people that won't have their bills sent to them, they'll just have to call in or even come in and let us, have the email address and get all that set up.
Because we probably don't have any email addresses right now, do we?
No.
So that would be a whole
Yeah.
thing that you'll have to add.
Yeah, but that'd be one thing, if we do send the letter out, whatever note we send out, with, the instructions on how to do that, kind of steps to do that.
I would strongly encourage that because the mail is just not reliable at all.
Right.
that'd be a good thing for a year from now. You're used to it, and then throw out the option.
So I know some of the customers come in, they've already been telling them about this, you know, hey, be prepared for this. And, I mean, it's been received real well.
And the EFT from my business, if you can set them up on electronic, that's so much easier. You don't have to work, you don't have to
Yeah.
collect, so to say.
Right.
Because a lot of it's just oversight. You know, it's not that they don't have the money, it's just take the time to write a check and send it. So I think that's a good option.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Manning. Anything to streamline the process, make it smoother? Any old business at this time? I believe there is any new business. Pretty sure we have discussed this. I'm pretty sure we took action. We just, anyway.
We may have already done this. I know that we've discussed.
Yes.
We discussed it and involved it.
I thought we did too. We just couldn't.
So I couldn't find this in the minutes, but this is a rural development project.
Right.
This is money left over from the Joel Road pump station rehab project. We had about 24,000 left over, and we reached out to Kirk Morris, rural development, about, hey, can we use that on a pressure washer, steam cleaner? We gave him the 3 quotes. They've already deposited the $16,999.99 into our account. So what I just need, you know,
I'll make a
is
motion.
permission to make the purchase.
I make a motion that we purchase the North Star Hot Water Commercial Pressure Washer for $16,999.99.
Thank you, Mr. Bass. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Van Hook.
Yeah,
He knows what I'm gonna say.
yeah.
Where's my $1,000?
Right? Because now it's 15.
I mean, just throw in a wand or two, get her driving back.
Right,
Yeah.
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 But I swear I don't remember this, because first thing come to my mind is them boys need to sign off using that thing. We need a total maintenance log, because they will destroy that thing in no time flat.
Yeah.
Dedicate one person to be the user?
We can't hardly do
Yes,
that.
you can. It ain't, if we ain't got that many people out there at the sewer plant, where it's gonna be used, you dedicate one person. It's the user of the machine. He must turn in all the paperwork, he must be the one that uses it. Anything happens, he must be the one that turns it into the city manager that something broke. And if he broke it, he's gonna have to own up to it.
So is that where it's gonna be used, just there?
So, since it's been purchased through a grant through the sewer project, that's where
Sewer and water.
it's got to be used to.
Yes, sewer and water, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you
Utilities.
could usually, you could actually use it at the water as well, not just the sewer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
But can they use it to get down to the lift stations to blast that grease and crud off the walls?
Yes, that's what it'll be primarily used for. Yeah, and we made sure to get hot water with it too.
Cause you look at them puny tires and how much gallons water weighs per gallon, I'd say it'd be loaded time you drove around too far.
We've got something like that over at work. Got the same, looks about the same. It's got 8 ply, 10, 12 ply cars on it. They don't keep it. They're pretty good.
Rough to pull.
I know where you were, they don't keep that.
All right, but I'm looking to hold it. I'm looking to hold it.
Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller,
Yes.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Holland,
Yes.
Becky Raymond.
Yes.
I told you you should be in a group chat with that guy. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, second item, discuss the purchase of a next generation of wireless real-time alarm monitoring and remote control. Corey?
So currently you have Mission software for control of your pump stations, tank levels. And again, based off of the TDEC director's order, this will satisfy that requirement. So what this is Personal Mission Communications RTU, and this will be installed at the water plant. Again, all of the cable has already been run up there, so you're basically set up for this. And what this will do is your turbidimeters, your chlorine monitors, all will be tied into your mission software on your laboratory computer now, and as well as your histories will be logged. And that was the main thing that that director's order was about. Now with this software also, you'll have the alarm. You can set up the alarms if you want to. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this.
How much are we talking for?
It's it's $5,188.
For everything, for all the software?
Yeah, that's for everything, yes. Yeah.
So this kind of replaces that old school looking mess, and
So it does.
something up there.
Yeah, so right now, your turbidities and your chlorine residuals go to your charts. There's a lot of people still use the charts, but TDEC's probably pushing everybody, newer technology. And we do know that this will log all of your historical values.
Well, how does that work? You save your charts right now, don't you? For
Yeah.
so long. How do you do it electronically?
So basically, you can go in on a chart, say a turbidity chart, click on the chart, and you can put in a day and a time that you want to go back and view, and it'll pull it right up.
So you got like a backup?
Yeah, you got a backup, basically, yeah.
You hit the save button on the computer chair.
Yeah.
He's been quiet so far.
I'll make a motion,
I want to let you know I wasn't asleep.
It's late now.
I'll make a motion, we spend the $5,188.
Motion by Mr. Bass, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Van Hook.
I have a question though. Where are we gonna get this $5,188?
So you've still got money left over in capital projects for that. So you had money built into the last page of your budget sheet here for the water treatment plant, which you purchased a high service pump. But you've got $16,000 in for the electric actuator valves. So you're just taking money out of that. So you actually have capital money available for the water treatment plant.
Any further discussion? Roll call, Joe.
Earl Miller,
Yes, sir.
Jeff Bass,
Yes,
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Lisa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Hall,
Yes.
Mickey DeVane.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Set up a date for budget workshop.
So we've talked about having a budget workshop next week. And I could have some stuff prepared by then. I would rather look if possible to either March 31st, 1st or 2nd, or that next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So either 31st, 1st, April 1st, April 2nd, or April 7th, 8th, or 9th. Your April water board and council meetings are April the 3rd and April 17th.
Y'all be gone the week of the 7th.
What about March 31st, April 1st, or April
I'm
2nd?
good there.
I'm good. Either.
What now, March 31st?
Or April 1st, April 2nd, that's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Probably that's a good one. We'll be between two trips there. So that's probably good for us.
Whichever day, I'll make work on my end.
Actually, it's next to 31st. That's my wife's birthday. I'm good April 2nd, 1st or 2nd, so.
April 1st is April Fool's Day. That'd be a good day to discuss the budget.
Yeah.
Did he say that? He did.
Don't be going wrong there.
Is everybody good with that?
Let's roll with the first then.
April 1st,
Yep.
Okay.
What time? You want to start a little bit earlier? Would it push everybody to get here by 5:30? Do it at 6?
I can do
What time?
whatever.
What about you, Jim?
I may come in late.
Okay. Charlie? Okay.
You want to shoot over then and
I'd say 5:30.
5:30?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing we'll also do is set this up as part of your all's continuing education. So I'll write this up for the comptroller, and you'll get probably 2 or 3 hours continuing education for this budget workshop.
Fair enough. All right, date set, motion to adjourn.
So move.
So move, all in favor, say aye. Call the March 4th Town of Oliver Springs City Council meeting to order. Roll call, Joe.
Carl Miller.
Here.
Jeff Bass. Here. Charlie Bailey.
Here.
Teresa Van Hook.
Here.
Terry Hall.
Here.
Becky Devane.
Here.
We're all here.
Mr. Joe, you lead us in word of prayer, please.
Our Father, we approach thy throne of grace with love and awe and fear and excitement, many emotions as to how great you are and how powerful you are, how loving you are, and how you have chosen to offer us unworthy folks salvation through your Son, Jesus Christ. Your word tells us that if we ask you for wisdom, that you will grant it liberally. And we certainly ask you for wisdom tonight as we make decisions that impact our city and the folks that we serve. We pray that you would also bless this town. We pray that you would be with all the folks that protect us on all levels and in various fields. Give them strength and courage and optimism. We pray for the problems in the world, the Russian-Ukraine war and the problems in the Middle East, the Taiwan-China problem and many others, that your Holy Spirit will be present to where folks would seek you and seek peace that can only come through you. We ask all these things in thy Son's name.
Amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get a motion to approve the minutes from the February 20th meeting.
Make the motion.
Motion by Ms. Van Hook, do we have a second? I'll second. Second by Mr. Bass. Any discussion? Any corrections, additions, changes? Roll call, Joe.
Mark Miller.
Yes.
Jeff Bass.
Yes.
Charlie Bailey.
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook.
Yes.
Terry Hall.
Yes.
Becky Devane.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Any delegation from citizen at this time, come forward, state your name. Mayor update real quick. Oliver Springs basketball boys are playing tonight, a regional championship at Waterboard. Game's at 7:30. That's right, regional championship, is that right? I believe so, yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully they'll bring one home for the home team tonight. I want a special thank you to Becky Devane and Mr. Greg and Steve back there for the daffodils and the help of Roane County inmates. Well, I think we planted 18,000 total.
Real close to it.
Yeah, and so the street department as well, guys, it was a great team effort, but I mean, Becky, thank you so much. Greg, thank you so much. Steve, and then, you know, I did what I could, providing tools. So, and I just want to say thank you. So we're looking forward to that. And we also have something else that hopefully in the next few weeks we'll be unveiling along the highway. I think it's going to be a little pleasant surprise. I'm not going to let this cat out of the bag yet, but look forward to what we have planned. So all that being said, one last thing, the folks in Frost Bottom, I've had multiple people reach out to me about the restriction on Highway 330. I have requested another sign that submitted to Ed Butler, one of our state representatives today, in which he submitted it to TDOT, so they'll be putting up a second sign. We have the one at the red light stating no semi-traffic on Highway 330. We're going to put one up at the end of Main Street because it's my understanding a lot of times that's where the semis actually will come in and they don't make it to the red light, so they don't see the restriction sign. We have also, I have worked with Wendy today about submitting the GPS. You can update Apple Maps, Google Maps, and Rand McNally Maps to show that that road is restricted as well. So I've asked Wendy to oversee that process. I got that information from State Trooper Dennis Smith. So hopefully the folks in Frost Bottom, even though they're not Oliver Springs City, they do a lot of their driving through Oliver Springs. So we want to be, as good neighbors as we can to help them. So I just thank you for reaching out, and hopefully we'll have a resolution soon. So with all that being said, Corey.
Spring cleanup begins March 31st, runs through May the 2nd. If you want to go to our website at oliversprings-tn.gov, you can find out more about that, about the items that are allowed to be picked up. So again, that starts Monday, March 31st, and runs through Friday, May the 2nd. A couple items about garbage pickup. Currently, Waste Connections is running 2 trucks. They run a smaller truck that goes on your smaller roads, lanes, kind of the cul-de-sacs. Once it gets full, has to go back and unload at the landfill. So if you see a smaller truck on your road and they don't pick you up, give them a little bit of time. They're probably just making runs between the landfill and in town. They've also got the larger truck that runs obviously on your bigger streets. Said that they will be making anywhere from 2 to 3 trips a day between picking up at houses and then unloading at the landfill. So pickup times will vary from day to day and week to week. So just like I said, if they were to miss a can at your house or something, give it a little bit of time, and they should be back around to pick those up. But if something they do miss, you see that even, you're more than welcome to give us a call here at City Hall, and we'll reach out to Waste Connections and see what we can get taken care of. One thing, Miss Jessica at the library is putting in for a T-Mobile grant. This will be a $25,000 grant, and I think this is just one available. So this is kind of a long shot here, but we're going to send in as many letters of support as we can for this grant. She's looking at putting in a couple of solar charging tables around the library. So it's some of the pictures of these tables. It's exciting. It is. They look really well. Financials, if you want to jump into that real quick. So this is an updated sheet, the ones that we've sent in the packet. Had some of my previous year comparative in it. You're about 8 months through the year. Page 2, just based off the revenues, total revenues. Now let me back up real quick. Property taxes on page 1 is your first line item. You currently collected about 79% of your property taxes through February the 28th. You collected $552,103. Now, talking with Ramona, we're kind of on schedule where we usually are. And you can expect to collect property taxes for the rest of this year. I know she had some cash reports that hadn't been inputted into local government. Back when I told you about during the Waterboard meeting, the report that I used to input this data was printed out on February 28th. So gives you kind of a ballpark of where you're at for February, but expect those numbers to change on revenue and expenses. Does anybody got any questions about the revenues? Your expenditures, just flipping through, again, remember the yellow highlighted, and yellow highlighted would be some of your missed codes. Your highlighted or your red print, that will be expenditures that were coded to where you don't have a budget item for that. So those will have to be fixed through budget amendments. Again, like we discussed in the water, take the time to look through these. You're more than welcome to call me, we'll set up a meeting, we'll go through a little bit more in depth. But your last page, again, your workers' comp insurance was come due in February, so you had a $57,618 there. Previous page, you had your liability insurance and your insurance on your buildings, you had a $89,470 expense there. So again, February is your high expense year. That's the same for the city as the water. With those expenditures for February, you had $73,867 expense over revenues. And again, your yearly total, your $309,515 expense over revenue right now. But again, your property taxes, start coming in November, December, January, February, March, and April. So you still like, a few $100,000 there on property tax. Does anybody have any questions?
You think we're trending okay right now then? Sort of okay?
Sort of.
Sort of okay?
Yeah, if you total, you've collected about 69, or you've used 69% of your total expense budget. And again, that's through 8 months.
Well,
So you're
overall,
basically about almost 75% through.
well, eight months out of 12, we're 2/3 of the way through, so we should
Yeah.
have 66 to 67%. We should be somewhere, just, that's a ballpark number.
Yes. So you're close on your expenditures. Now, your revenues are gonna be off a little bit right now.
It's good to have these numbers though, since we're going into budget planning.
Sure.
We need these numbers.
So one thing, a big savings right there on that last page is you budgeted $494,000 and health insurance costs. That number was based off of going to the state health insurance plan for 10 months. So that was based on the state health insurance taking effect in September of 2024. So 2 of those numbers were, the previous United Healthcare cost. And we didn't go to the state health insurance plan until January the 1st. So there's quite a bit of savings right there on your health insurance. So that'll help.
We're gonna have to, consider all of this though, when we start planning for 2025/2026.
Yes.
Correct.
But I've heard favorable comments about the health insurance.
Yes, very
I
much.
think the employees are happier with it.
Yeah, sure. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. Mr. Miller?
Nothing at this time, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bass?
I have nothing at this time,
Ms. Bailey? Ms. Van Hook?
Yes, I have handed out to all of you some stapled copies this evening. I would like to bring some resolutions for council's consideration. Place them in the form of a motion if someone would not mind to second that.
I'll second it.
Thank you. so we can just discuss it a little bit. I brought resolutions from the Oliver Springs Town Council commending City Manager Corey Jenkins. I won't read the entire resolution. I will read what we're commending him for. For those of you who have copies, it's whereas several of his many skills are as follows. A, his steady leadership of city employees, and B, his outstanding performance in bringing the town's water and sewer systems into better compliance with the regulations promulgated by the state of Tennessee entities which govern water and sewer systems, and C, his skillful organization, production, and presentation of financial information to town council, the mayor, and all interested citizens, and D, his very strong ability to apply for and obtain grants that assist the town of Oliver Springs to accomplish more projects for the good of our citizens, and E, his ability to step up and lead the water department in the absence of a utility director, and F, his many hours of faithful service in emergency situations that arise from time to time when crews must work through the night, on weekends, on holidays, or in other unusual situations or circumstances. Now therefore, the town council recognizes and thanks City Manager Corey Jenkins for his outstanding leadership, performance, and work on behalf of the employees, citizens, and others of and in the town of Oliver Springs, and now therefore, be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution of commendation be placed in the personnel file of City Manager Jenkins as a further testament to the service he has rendered in his position as city manager to and for the town of Oliver Springs. That's for City Manager Corey Jenkins. The second one, next page, is regarding Police Chief Laxton. And for Police Chief Laxton, whereas several of his many skills are as follows. A, his steady, capable leadership of our police department and the several employees under his direction. And B, his outstanding performance in managing the budget of our police department. And C, his wise outfitting of our officers with the best protective gear that he is able to obtain through grants he so capably and wisely applies for and receives on behalf of the town. And D, his skillful ability to have the town's officers obtain the best training available, and for keeping our officers well-trained and ready to handle situations that may be required of them. And E, his planning, designing, equipping, and training of a SWAT team comprised of the town of Oliver Springs policemen, which is the only municipal SWAT team in Anderson County, Roane County, or Morgan County. And F, his willingness to personally work many extra shifts in order to keep our citizens and our town well protected. And G, his ability to transfer the E911 services from the town to Anderson County skillfully and successfully, thereby saving the town money. And H, his many hours of faithful service through emergency situations that arise from time to time, and he must work through the night, on weekends, holidays, or unusual circumstances. Now therefore, the town council recognizes and thanks Police Chief David Laxton for his outstanding leadership, performance, and work on behalf of the employees, citizens, and others of the town of Oliver Springs. And now therefore, be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution of commendation be placed in the personnel file of Police Chief David Laxton as a further testament to the service he has rendered in his position as police chief for the town of Oliver Springs. The next one is the town council resolution commending street department supervisor Rusty Phillips. And whereas several of his many skills are as follows. A, his steady leadership of the employees he supervises, and B, his outstanding performance in keeping the town's public areas, streets, and highway right-of-ways and medians and other public mowed and trimmed in good shape and form during the mowing season. And C, his working with City Manager Jenkins to keep him advised of issues that may require his assistance, direction, or other involvement. And D, his knowledge of and ability to assimilate information regarding the equipment owned by the town of Oliver Springs, and for acting as custodian of said equipment at the city garage, and for generally being knowledgeable as to any problems with said equipment and the general repairs that may be required to return said equipment to working order, and E, for as many hours spent that are required of him and his crew when problems arise that cause a need for them to work through the night, in inclement weather, on weekends, holidays, or in other unusual circumstances. Now therefore, the Town Council recognizes and thanks Street Department Supervisor Rusty Phillips for his outstanding leadership, performance, and work of the employees, citizens, and others of the town of Oliver Springs. And now therefore be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution of commendation be placed in the personnel file of the Street Department Supervisor Rusty Phillips as a further testament to the service he has rendered in his position as Street Department Supervisor for the town of Oliver Springs. The next one is from the Oliver Springs Town Council, the resolution commending City Finance Officer, City Court Clerk Ramona Walker. Whereas several of her many skills are as follows. A, her many years of service in keeping the financial records of the town of Oliver Springs and for working with auditors and other agencies to keep said records in appropriate form. And B, her capable management of the city of Oliver Springs property tax rolls and the annual collection of the city property taxes, sales taxes, and other municipal revenue. And C, her conscientious service to the City Court of Oliver Springs as the City Court Clerk in keeping the voluminous amount of records that are a part of this assignment. And D, her knowledge and wisdom that comes from many years of serving the town in these capacities and her ability to advise town council, the mayor, the city manager, and others as to the financial position of the town's general fund and other funds under her direction, supervision, and management. And E, her continuing education that qualified her as a city municipal finance officer and for the continuing education required to keep said certification, with said certification qualifying the town to receive various types of federal government and state government grants. And F, for her faithful service to the town of Oliver Springs in all of these capacities since July 8, 1998. Now therefore, the Town Council recognizes and thanks City Finance Officer Clerk, City Court Clerk Ramona Walker for her outstanding leadership, performance, and work for the employees, citizens, and others of the town of Oliver Springs. And now therefore, it is further resolved that a certified copy of the resolution of commendation be placed in the personnel file of City Finance Officer / City Court Clerk Ramona Walker as a further testament to the service she has rendered in her position as the City Finance Officer / City Court Clerk Ramona Walker. And the last one is from the Oliver Springs Town Council, the resolution commending Fire Chief Justin Bailey. Whereas several of his many skills are as follows. A, his dutiful service he has rendered, is rendering, and will render training volunteer firemen in fire safety and firefighting methods. And B, his care and concern shown in obtaining and maintaining the best equipment the town can supply to our volunteer firemen. And C, his ability to seek and obtain grants to help the town purchase necessary vehicles and equipment for our volunteer firemen. And D, his positive role model that he and his volunteer firemen offer to the community when called upon by schools or civic organizations to display of firefighting equipment or to teach about fire safety. And E, his many hours of faithful leadership and service in emergency situations that arise from time to time when our volunteer firemen must coordinate with other emergency agencies and must work through the night, on weekends, on holidays, or in other unusual circumstances. Now therefore, the Town Council recognizes and thanks Fire Chief Justin Bailey for his outstanding leadership, performance, and work on behalf of the employees, citizens, and others of and in the town of Oliver Springs. And now therefore, be it resolved further that a certified copy of this resolution of commendation be placed in the personnel file of Fire Chief Justin Bailey as a further testament to the service he has rendered in his position as Fire Chief to and for the town of Oliver Springs. Any discussion?
think they ought to deserve a hand tonight, don't you?
I guess we should call for a vote since
Yeah.
these are resolutions.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the resolutions?
She made.
I made the motion.
I'm sorry. Motion by Ms. Van Hook, second by.
Yeah.
So any discussion by council? Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller,
Yes, sir.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Lisa Van Hook,
Yes.
Becky Delaney,
Yes.
Terry Hall.
Yes.
And we have copies for each of you. Do you want to present them?
I can, yes, ma'am.
You want to put on the floor?
Tell them not to leave until we sign.
Yeah, those are just their copies, but y'all need to sign.
Okay. Court up first. So there you go, big bag. Yes, sir. Chief. Sir. Thank you. Rusty.
You may have to go arrest him.
Been waiting a minute.
Uh-oh.
He's hurt himself.
It'll get better one of these days, right? Mr. Mona's not here, and then Chief Bailey's not here. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a raise with those?
Next budget cycle.
Yeah, it's glad.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Van Hook? That's it, all right. Mr. Hall?
Could we make a middle note that, with the high school tear down, that there's a lot of debris on Kingston Avenue, I think all the way up to Winter Gap. Styrofoam and all that stuff.
Okay.
Some of those new nice houses even have, soot and mud looking stuff in it, so before they escape, clean it up and
I'll
make
get
sure they get.
I'll get with Casey, the Director of Maintenance for Rome County tomorrow, Rome County Schools tomorrow, and point that out to them.
Yeah, it's, you walk down through, you really see it.
Okay.
As far as the taxes, is the business and personal are all due February 28th?
I believe so. Is that
I
correct?
believe all's due.
So that reflects on our income fairly quick, so the next one we get will still be,
Necessarily.
or is it,
Just when-
why does it take so long?
Well, not everybody pays by February 28th.
Right,
You
that-
can't pay later and pay,
Okay, I thought it was like a deadline.
it's a penalty. There's a penalty for paying after
Yeah.
February 28th.
I never was raised like this.
But that's why Ramona and I had this conversation that some people drag it out until June and pay,
They do.
but they have to pay the penalty.
Right.
So that's why I kind of understand what Corey was saying earlier, that I assumed everybody paid by the 20th.
No, no. You, on average, it's, I think 96 or 97% is what we'll pay, give or take. And this year, hopefully we'll get there.
Before February 28th. Or you say the entire year?
No,
The entire-
for the entire year.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I seen the trouble with one of the lights down there was the same, backup with the traffic light there at, 61, 62 going to Cofield or something, I seen them.
Chief, might be able to tell you a little bit more about that one.
Traffic light or something, we had trouble with it,
We've not had any issues at Knoxville Highway. We
Yeah.
did, at the east end of Oliver Springs Highway, we had a 24 volt, fuse go out in it.
oh, is that what it was? Okay. That's not a regular thing, is it?
No.
And I thought I'd share that our former city manager, Tina Treese Turtle, she's in real bad shape, so keep her in your thoughts and prayers.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Hall. Ms. Delaney?
Just go with what you said, Jason, about thanking the street department and Sheriff Stockton and Sergeant Sparks. for the Rome County Work Crew. In 2 days, they planted, I think, 11,000 bulbs.
Yeah.
We could not have done that without them. Although my husband and my brother-in-law helped.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to maybe invite them up when the bulbs are blooming, the daffodils are blooming, and have a picture.
Absolutely. Would love to.
I think that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Vane. Chief Laxton?
Nothing at this time.
Nothing to stop. Chief Bailey's not here. Old business, no old business, new business. Set a date for a budget workshop. I believe that date is April 1st, 5:30. Is that correct?
Yes.
So April 1st, 5:30 workshop. So item B, real quick, discussed naming the crosswalk at Norwood Schools in memory of Charlie White. So this goes back to just like we honored the Phillips family, naming the bridge after all of his faithful years of service as fire chief. Charlie White faithfully served this town and this community, I think, for 25 years, 30 years, and did so free of charge. And so I wanted to wait until the new crosswalk was built. Anderson County has appropriated close to $2 million for a sidewalk that's going to extend all the way down to one bank. It's going to be super nice. We're going to have a new crosswalk that'll go from the school over to Food City Gas and Go. However, that project continues just to be delayed, just engineering loopholes and all that, but the funding is there. Me and Corey have been in a couple meetings over that. I wanted to wait till it was completed. However, Mr. White, his existing family are getting older, and time is always limited, right? And so I would like to honor that family before his immediate descendants pass away. And so I wanted to bring that before council and get your all's approval to name that crosswalk in his honor, and then place a sign, just like we did for Mr. Phillips down here at the bridge. If you all would be so gracious as to do that to honor him, honor their family, and to honor the years of service that he did.
I'll make that motion.
Motion,
I would gladly second that.
motion by Ms. Van Hook, second by Mr. Bass. So the discussion here will be, if Corey, if you'll get with Wendy, get us a sign. I can imagine it's going to be thousands of dollars, I'd say a few hundred. And if there's any issue here, the mayor, myself, I will gladly donate the money to cover the cost, okay? So Joe, please reflect that. I don't want it to be a burden to the town. All that being said, roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller,
Yes.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Hall,
Yes.
Becky Blaney.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Lastly, discuss and possibly approve the resolution in support of Anderson County Property Assessor's proposal to shift the property assessment cycle from 5 years to 4. Corey.
So, I've got some other documents that I'd like to presented. Jason's been kind of reading through those right now, so I didn't have a chance to make copies for this one, but this is something just to read through this at this moment. I'd like to get the rest of those documents to you to read through it. It discusses going from the 5-year to the 4-year, and then some of the other proposals that the Anderson County Property Assessors are wanting to put together. Has to do with some updated aerial photo software that they're wanting to go to, plus some other things that will help with their, identifying Airbnbs and rental houses and stuff. So I've got some, read through it tonight. I'd like to pick that back up probably the next meeting. That way it gets you all some more data to look through first.
Fair enough. With all that being said, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.